Okay, welcome back to the channel, to the video. So if you run a roofing company right now, you're probably doing one of two things to get business. And I'm gonna put it on the screen here. We're gonna do door knocking versus digital. Door knocking versus digital. That is today's point of conversation. And you're either doing door knocking, boots on the ground, massive team, walking neighborhoods after storms, flipping doors all day, or you're running some sort of digital marketing campaign. Okay, ads, SEO, Google, Facebook, whatever. You've probably got a strong opinion about which one is better. Today, I want to break down both of them. Honestly, no bias, no agenda, and we will talk about just both of them. Honestly, talk about which one actually gets you to 5 million a year, 20 million a year, how companies that I'm working with are leveraging both. Because the answer isn't always what you think. And before I say anything else, let me be clear: door knocking definitely works. I'm not here to tell you it doesn't. Some of the most successful roofing companies that I work with, I mean, they're dominating. They're hitting $16 million a year without any sort of digital or like online marketing presence, right? So uh, I'll talk to you a little bit about the strategies that I see, and everyone's different. Um, when it comes down to leading a sales team, the most important thing is how are we providing for our salespeople? I've seen companies go full force, only do inbound leads, and then I've seen companies do only outbound or only door knocking. Okay. I think guys who got in their truck at 7 a.m., knocked until the sun went down, and built $1 million businesses doing that. I've seen that happen time and time again. I've seen these businesses that have, a daily cadence meeting, or it's a 10 a.m. meeting, um, where they're just meeting with their entire sales team and the culture's on fire. If you're a door knocker and it's working for you, I respect that. That's one of the hardest jobs in the world. I've done it. I've sold solar. I've sold door to door. You're dealing with rejection all day. People telling you to get off their porch, dogs, weather, all of it. Anyone who says door knocking is easy, um, or says door knocking is not effective is either not good at it, or um, they haven't done it long enough. So I'm not here to trash it. I'm here to talk about the ceiling. Okay. So let's start with that. I'm a big fan of door knocking. I think that it's honestly the best way, but door knocking works. The question is, does it scale? Obviously, it scales. It scales to a certain point. Um, I mean, I think what we're going to talk about when it gets to that point, when you hit the wall, when you are the one knocking doors, or you have the team knocking doors, the business can only grow as fast as your legs or your team's legs can carry you. As you know, your sales team is the bottleneck. You are the bottleneck, right? If you take a day off, or let's say the entire team just can't get out there, if you have people that are churning, if you have people that are sick, the pipeline dries up. If you want to take your family on vacation, the business stops generating new opportunities, right? The obvious answer: hire more door knockers, get more people on the ground. A lot of companies do that, but now you've got a new set of problems, as you know, right? You've got to recruit them, train them, manage them. You're essentially becoming a talent acquisition company while juggling all of the production, all the labor, making sure that you're babysitting some folks, right? We've all been there. We've had salespeople on the team that are just not performing. You've got turnover because door knocking burns people out. You've got quality control issues because you can't be on every single porch watching every single conversation. It works, but it's labor intensive to scale. Every dollar of new revenue requires human bodies out there knocking. And it's significantly harder managing a team of 50 people, 40 people, 25 door knockers versus handling just like eight, right? There's a direct relationship between headcount and growth, and that relationship has a ceiling. All right. So door knocking equals linear growth. More revenue requires more people every time. More revenue requires more people every time. I think most door knocking operations start to feel the strain somewhere between one and 3 million. I think getting past that requires maybe a sales manager, a sales director, recruiting pipeline, constant training, and a lot of overhead, right? So some companies do it. It's a grind. You need the right leader. You need the right person who is just managing the entire team. Okay. Now, I want us to think about digital or inbound, right? So there's outbound, door knocking, and this could also be like cold calling, um, whatever it could be. It's just you going to the homeowner. And then now inbound, I look at inbound as digital. So digital inbound is putting some sort of ad out there or putting something out there for your company, and now the homeowner's coming to you. That's what I'm talking about with digital. Paid ads, Google, Meta, SEO, whatever the channel is. The fundamental difference is digital, scalable growth, more revenue requires more budget, not more bodies. More budget, not more bodies. All right. Depending on the resources that you have, sometimes more budget is easier than throwing another body out there. When you run ads, you can go from spending, let's say, $3,000 a month to $10,000 a month to $30,000 a month without hiring a single new person on the marketing side. So the system, it stays the same. The process stays the same. You just need to turn the dial up. Okay, so obviously you'll still need people to handle the leads. So setters, right? Salespeople, inside salespeople, phone salespeople, production crews. I'm not saying you run a roofing company with no employees, but the marketing engine itself doesn't require linear headcount the way door knocking does. You can generate 200 leads a month with the same ad setup that generates 50 leads a month. And that is the lever. That is the part that the biggest unlock that I see people make, where constantly maybe they give me 10, 15K to run in ads. And then as soon as they see it scaling, they're like, hey, Mel, here's more money. Doesn't necessarily work like that, right? But once you see the power of how far your dollar can stretch and how much we can scale that, that's when a lot of people start getting excited about this. Okay. The other thing that digital gives you that door knocking doesn't, it works when you're not there, right? So your ads are running 24/7. I was playing poker with a group of friends, and I remember one of my friends was scrolling, and he literally saw me in a hot dog suit and was like, "Hey, your ad's running," and it was 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. So I don't think many door knockers are knocking that late unless you have like, I don't know, a really star player. But even so, they're always working. They're always working. Um, Here's a lead from an ad right now that's coming in. But I think that when you look at digital, right, and you look at the amount of work that it's doing, that's the leverage that we're seeing, right? That person fills out a form, and now your phone, rings the next morning. No one had to knock their door. No one had to be in their neighborhood. They came directly to you. Okay, so ads run while you sleep. Door knockers don't. Okay, so now before you hit the comments and trash this and think this is just selling digital because I run an agency, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be very clear about the downsides, right? Digital marketing, it does require patience. I think you're not going to spend 3K your first month and get 15 signed contracts, right? It takes time to optimize, and there's no guarantee. It takes time to learn the market. I talked about this on, I think, 2 or 3 videos ago. The math works, but it's not instant. It also requires like a process, right? If you run ads and you don't have someone calling those leads right away, if you don't have a follow-up system, you're not, and like, let's say you're not tracking anything, it does feel like you're burning cash. Digital marketing will feel like a waste of money, not because the leads are bad, but because everything I talked to you about on day one and day two, all this stuff that's broken, right? So it requires trust. You're giving someone money to run a campaign, and you can't physically see them the same way you see a door knocker going out to a home, right? So that's the uncomfortable part for a lot of contractors is you can't necessarily know if this person is doing a good job or not, or if they're even working. I think that, especially if you've been burned by an agency before, right? So digital and ads is not a magic button. It's not, it's not an easy, it's not like a magic pill where you can snap your fingers. It's going to amplify what the business currently already is, right? So it has real challenges, but the scalability is what makes it different. Okay. Now, here's what I actually believe and what I tell every single contractor who asks me this question. And I'll type it out here actually. Let's go on page 2. I will type it right here. So the answer isn't one or the other, it's leveraging both and knowing when to shift, right? So the best roofing companies I've seen, the ones that 20 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil and above. I mean, even guys at 10 million who have a very lean team, they didn't pick a lane and stay in it forever. They started with the hustle, door knocking, referrals, yard signs, networking, shaking hands, at the supply house. That's how you get your first couple million. Grind it out. There's no shortcut at that early stage. But somewhere between, let's say, 3 million to 10 million, I think that the guys who understand their leverage and their time more, they're the ones who are not necessarily replacing door knocking, they're adding to it, because now you've got two engines, you've got two flows. It's not about shutting out flows, it's about adding flows, right? And we want to add flows strategically to a team. You've got your ground game producing opportunities, and you've got your digital game producing opportunities on top of that. The digital side can scale without adding headcount on the marketing side. So the companies that get stuck are the ones that refuse to evolve. They say, I built this business on door knocking and that's all I'm ever going to do. And that's fine. If you're happy at, 2 million or 3 million or 15 million, 16 million. But if you want to get past that threshold on which you're stuck, adding a flow, adding a lead source that can scale without being tied to how many people you have on the street, that's what seems to get the next level. Okay. So strategically, this is what I see works really well that I want you to leverage in your company. You have your sales team. Let's say you have a team of 25 people door knocking, crushing it, dominating, and you're doing a sales meeting every single day. You're building them up, you're shouting them out, you're encouraging the A players, right? And then now you have this outbound source where you're just hammering as many leads as possible. The outbound source are the door knockers trying to get a hold of as many homeowners as humanly possible. And then you have an inbound source where you're not, your sales team, you're keeping them obviously very motivated. And another source of motivation, and I'm going to go deep into the weeds here, are the leads that you're generating as a leader, as a, I wouldn't say like sales manager, but like when you have a team, like let's boil it down to, like, let's say if you had 12 people, 12 door knockers. I don't want to just completely shift to only doing inbound, because what's going to happen? People are going to get lazy, right? I want my team doing what is working. I'm not stopping the funnel that is working, which is outbound. But now I'm also including inbound, where these inbound leads are maybe the carrot or the motivation to the top 20% of my team. Or let's say that I know that someone is working extremely hard, their effort is there, they're hitting more doors than anyone else. They're maybe a rock star talent, they have a ton of potential. I'm feeding them my best leads. So it gives you an opportunity as a leader to tell your team, guys, I have confidence in us. We're going to land, we're going to close these deals. But on top of that, I have so much confidence that I'm investing tens of thousands of dollars so you guys can get paid more. The people that knock the most amount of doors in these last 7 days, or the people who close the most deals, are going to get the access to the hottest leads. I'm not going to give everyone access to the inbound channel, right? I'm going to give access to whoever is executing and getting results. Obviously, everybody wants to get results in sales, but if we're adding another channel for just the top people, it's going to allow our most important people on the team work that much harder. So now what's happening is our top salespeople are not competing against the B and C players on the team. The top salespeople are now competing against the other top salespeople in the organization. So what ends up happening is not only do our best leads only get handled by our best people, but now we're moving the entire organization from a sales and results standpoint, from an output standpoint, right? So when I output, we're always chasing sales output as roofing companies. And sales output is more sales. More sales is simply leverage times volume. Okay? Leverage times volume. This is the output formula. In every single sales work, I mean, I've worked for many sales organizations. I've led many high performing sales teams. And sometimes you might have the best, you might already be maxing out on volume. Yes, we can squeeze out an additional 5%, have a really good morning huddle, but these guys are working really freaking hard, hammering as many doors and honestly getting out there sometimes 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know that my sales leaders are bringing on the best talent, and we have really good salespeople on the team already. So the only next point of leverage is a more motivated lead. So, from a sales organization standpoint, the only way that I can increase output, since I've already maxed out volume and I've maxed out leverage with the salesperson that I've brought on board, the only thing that now I can dial up is the actual level of motivation and how hot that lead is to then increase output. And then something very crazy happens, right? Again, let's go back to the situation where, let's say I have 10, 20, 25 sales reps. The top salespeople, their numbers are going to get better because now they're chasing the inbound channel. That then motivates the B players. The B players are kind of like the vibe guys, right? You know, the vibe guys who are just like, they're fun to get a drink with. They're the locker room dudes, right? They're the guys who they keep the team atmosphere really fun, but they might not be the best closers. They might not be the best sellers. They probably got a mustache. They're really just they're the glue of the team. It increases their performance, and then the thing that no one really notices is it brings the C players up too, because there's a lot of things that motivate the A players. The things that motivate the A players, it's opportunity, it's growth, it's money, it's desire, it's recognition. Okay, what motivates the B players is team camaraderie, money, certainty, security, job security. And the thing that nobody really talks about is what actually motivates the C players. There's two things that motivate the C players: not getting fired, comfort, right? And when we talk about comfort, it's so freaking uncomfortable. They don't care about, the C players don't care about money, right? They want to be part of the team. And I'm talking about C players like they have a disease. They don't. They're still people at the end of the day. But what really motivates the C players is not contributing, right? Is being the person who's, how do I explain this? They're very motivated by contributing to the team and not being the only person that didn't make a sale. So when you have a scoreboard and you see like 8, 9, 10 people that are dominating out of a team of 12, the bottom 4 people, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that they're also contributing and giving everything that they have. So that is how you're actually able to move the entire output of the sales team with this inbound channel. Okay. So again, it allows you to put healthy pressure on, right? Not pressure where it's like, you suck, like, why are you not closing? Everyone else is closing. But you can kind of say, guys, like, here's a perfect example. We're crushing it. Everyone to the board, nobody left behind. John landed 3 deals today. Max landed 2 deals today, right? You're one door knock away, you're 10 doors away from landing a deal. Like, we have everyone to the board, and you best believe that if everyone is to the board, or everyone landed a contract that day, the bottom 3 people are gunning for it. Not because the money, not because the recognition, not because desire, not because they want to help a homeowner, but because they don't want to be the only person who is not helping the team. And that is how an inbound channel, a digital channel, is going to help your outbound channel, is having them work together side by side to lift the entire sales team. And now what do you have the next morning at 10 a.m. at the huddle? is, guys, we're setting records. Guys, this company, there's no company that's doing what we're doing right now. Guys, we're on a tear. Like, we have momentum. And what are you fueling your team with now? Yes, it's momentum, but you're fueling them with belief. You're fueling them with belief that if they have your company logo on their shirt, they have a superpower. They have this magic ability to close. And that is going to give them the confidence when they step into that door. They're selling from abundance, not from scarcity, but because the culture is on fire, because they have a leader that they want to work for. They have a leader that's spending all this money to make sure that their family can eat. They have a leader that's in their corner that believes in them. There's no leader that would spend $30,000 on ads if they didn't believe in their team. And you better believe that if I'm running a company, I'm letting my team know that. Not because I want to guilt them to make sales, but I want to tell them as a leader, guys, I believe in you. I'm willing to bet the house. I'm willing to bet a car that we're going to make sales in the ad spend that I'm using, right? So, just some food for thought. That's what I see some of the best leaders do in the industry right now, especially with the customer acquisition cost being as low as it is in certain markets. There is a golden era right now when it comes down to prospecting very motivated leads. And how are we leveraging AI, leveraging our skill sets to make sure that our team is in front of the hottest leads at all times and our best people are in front of the hottest leads at all times. So definitely use it if you aren't already. And I just noticed that my face was never in any of this. So, um, boom, there we go. Output, get that output, use this, subscribe to the channel, like the video, put a comment out there. Sucks. I was like in the zone. It sucks that I wasn't in the video, but hopefully this helps you. If this doesn't help you, it's okay. But if it does help you, let me know. Shoot me a DM. My Instagram is Melvin Menbroza, and it's just about building out a community of leaders. I'm here to help. I'm here to provide value. Keep watching the videos, a video every single day for the next 90 days. Watch the videos prior, and I hope you have a phenomenal day.